Today, I bring before you a colonoscopy of my life. A true testament to the thought that I may be a little crazy. And let me tell you, this anime arc does not miss a beat. It's got all of it. Action, drama, and even everyone's favorite, depression.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
Now before I spread wide here and we dive deep into the bowels of the Admiral's lore, it'd be great if you took me out to dinner first. I mean, if you subscribed. I don't really like going out to dinner, and if you watch till the end of this video, maybe you'll see where I'm coming from. Or maybe you'll think I'm a little crazy, in which case, join the club. I've been the president here for a while. Chapter 1. Becoming an Unrester. If you haven't heard yet, recently, the definition of protests have been changed to unrest. And man, that word sounded perfectly suitable. In fact, I'd go as far as to say, I unrested the shit out of life. 6 long years ago, in what feels like a story older than a grain of sand trapped betwixt a heavy girl's cheeks, I was pulled over heading home with some friends, and was given what I would dub the fists of 1,000 furies right to my back door, leaving what I could only describe as permagape. Something that's possibly liable in court. I don't know yet. I haven't checked it out because I don't ever want to step back in there again. So when I got pulled over, I was just sitting there waiting, stiff as can be, stiff as I like my drinks, in the driver's seat. A little kid, I didn't know shit. I didn't know to even get my registration out. I'm just sitting there, as if the only plan going through my mind was to use the Go-Go Gadget ejector seat and blast right through my roof and make my escape. But sadly, this movie did not have the budget for that one. So instead I battled on with the courts, a battle so intense, it raged on until I finally turned around 18 years old and was dishonorably discharged. Essentially, a Purple Heart for that battle. If in this alternate reality the Purple Heart was actually given out to people who are mentally unstable as like some sort of participation medal, I guess. And this led to the suspension of my license for another 3 years. Adding that on top of the other 2, we can clearly see that has been 5 years total I lost my license here. An accolade that honestly might be worthy of hanging up on the fridge next to my height. Which leads us into our next chapter. Stranded. Outside. Solitude. A bit of a poem, but it really makes you think very, very deep. And would not at all belong on the I Am 14 and This Is Deep subreddit. Now, if you recall the villain in the previous saga, he hit me with the fists of 1,000 furies to my rectum. This next victim, however, did something entirely unthinkable. They hit me with the Tsunami Super Sack Slap, a forbidden technique thought to be lost in translation by the ancient Mayans. It being a slap, obviously, because when dealing with the sack, it's more about even distribution of force for maximum surface area. Sorry to get sidetracked, but this is important stuff. You never know when it'll come in handy. We'll begin this part, though, with a thought experiment. And don't worry, I'll be doing the thinking, alright? You just sit there. First, we simply Google the average rate a human can run. We now take this speed, apply the Pythagorean theorem, put a couple cosines in there, just dump them out there on the table, and then slap them with the tangents. And after we've calculated all of that into it, we could see it would take me an hour to run to the nearest town. And that's as if I were sprinting like Indiana Jones trying to escape a boulder or something. A rate unsustainable for a gamer like myself until even the end of the driveway, let alone 15 miles to the next town. So alas, I was lost, tossed into the wilderness of Minecraft to be alone. Who needs friends when you have a dog named Elon that doesn't leave hair everywhere? A booming wheat farm engineered with redstone to automatically harvest whenever you want. And villagers that you have to protect at night, giving you purpose in life. Me, that's the short answer. I needed the friends. But by this time, my reputation had already been dragged through more mud than a pair of undies whose owner was trying a 30-day Taco Bell challenge. And in much the same fashion as the previously aforementioned undies, I hid myself under the rug to never come out again. During this time, I did, however, manage to rack up 3,000 hours in Counter-Strike, an accolade once more placed upon the fridge. I think we need to start keeping track now, because that's the 3 now, I think. The fridge is getting pretty full. As well as I met some Canadians, people you never, I didn't even think Canada actually existed, but here they were. And I even brought some terminology from over there for you guys. Yulian. a reference to their beloved Trailer Park Boys character Julian, which I've got to be honest, I don't really understand what makes that so bad. I think that the soft Y at the start of it is supposed to be a little more feminine, so, you know, someone's a Julian, they're not as masculine, I guess. But finally, Canadians aside, we take them, we throw them into the trash bin. The grand finale. Depression. And now the clickbait truly begins. It's time for the part of the video where I tell you to PayPal me $10 or I jump off my roof. Ah, yes, I love it. Now, in all seriousness, I do think that depression is a serious topic, but I still want to keep it lighthearted because, I mean, come on, it's funny. Because depression is similar to how you roast your friends to assert dominance, but instead you're roasting yourself. And let me tell you, I'm the master splinter of roasting. I've told myself some fucked up things. But as you get older, you realize new things. And what I'm working on learning now is to live with the weirdness of life. I love it. I just take weirdness and I inject it in myself. I like to experience everything that life has to throw at me. Because at the end of the day, we're all descendants of apes that used to beat the shit out of each other for a banana. And to add on top of that, we're on a rock compressed by a force that's invisible, spinning through an infinite void of space. Yeah, I know, shit gets pretty wild. I guess the true takeaway is sometimes the Mongolians are gonna knock down your wall, but the next time you build it, it better be twice as strong. Now, I know this video may not have delved deep into the isolation and the experiences that I've actually been through, but it's because honestly, I've already reflected on that shit enough. Maybe in the future, if you want something more in depth, I'll do something like that, because let me tell you, I have some crazy shit in here. Crazy. And I just didn't want to get into all of that at the moment. I just wanted to keep something lighthearted and maybe talk about a little bit of my experiences. Keep her a little thin. But if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.